Hello, everyone. I just wanted to share one specific thought that I had after our last online discussions. My impression was that we all have very different backgrounds and very different visions as to what integral communities are actually about. And how I could imagine this process to work in the next few months to come is I would suggest we really sketch out our visions in very low resolution at first. These visions, some of them have already been posted, like Layman's or Phil's vision. Charles, I will post in the coming few days, and mine as well. These visions looked at as something that has a very low resolution, something that is really taken as a picture from 10,000 feet in the air. As visions, they seem to contradict each other. They really come from very different backgrounds. They focus on very different things. They don't seem to work together. But this is the starting point. So it seems like we have not enough in common to make anything together. It seems like we're so different that we can't build anything together. But my suggestion will be for the following months to come that we break up those visions that we have after we have articulated them, after we have at least told everyone else what they are about and told ourselves what they're about, because many of us have vague ideas, but they've never really put it into words, into something coherent. After we have articulated them, I suggest we break them down into single specific problems. And these problems are so high resolution, they're so specific that you just see the tree. You don't see the entire forest anymore. You just see the tree and think about which problems you think your vision is directed at solving or dealing with. There can be problems that are in some way related to integral theory. They might solve some problems to integral theory that are built into it that make doing integral very difficult, but they may also be problems that are problems of your personal life, and there might be problems that you find to be in society around you, problems that are widespread and where you believe an integral hub or an integral community could offer a kind of a solution. My impression is that all our visions are very dense pictures that combine very, very different experiences and very different things that we consider to be a problem. Some of us think that there's something wrong with integral theory or how we're doing integral theory. Others think that there's something wrong with society that we have to change. Others have problems with themselves and believe that the community might be a solution to their own personal problems. So whatever kind of specific problem you feel like your vision addresses, I would really ask you to break down into fragments and communicate just one fragment by fragment. So keep them short, nothing more than 5 minutes on speaking on a specific problem or fragment. And let's create a common channel that we will use, a channel that has this specific resolution. It has a very, very high resolution perspective. And what it's about is you formulating a problem that you believe is in some way related to the bigger picture, the bigger vision of an integral community. Even if you're not sure yourself, you might just feel there is something to it. Or if it's a problem that you feel that your specific vision addresses. I would really suggest we do that. I did it already to my own vision. I broke it down into fragments, in bits and pieces that can be communicated. They can be communicated as pictures. They can be communicated as injunctions, as Wilber says. And I came up with something like 60 to 80 different specific problems that are in some way interwoven and brought together into my vision. And I would ask you to do the same with your own personal thought, because I think this is the level on which we might find much more common ground between each other. Even though our visions are very different, you might agree that specific problems need to be tackled. And two people might be interested, for example, in solving a specific number of those problems, or on focusing on one of those hundreds of problems that might appear. Because I think the likelihood that we will agree on a common vision is very low. So for the next few months, I would really hope that you would allow this kind of chaos to appear, because it will be very chaotic, because we will contribute very, very different individual perspectives to the whole thing. It might be very difficult to keep the red thread and follow the bigger picture, but I really ask you to just stick with it. Just stick with the pain of all this chaos and fragmentation that will occur in the next few months to come. What I hope we will be able to do, and I'm actually pretty sure we'll be able to do, once we have seen these fragments that everyone else contributes, and then come back to our own visions, I think we will be enriched by something like a sense for a bigger picture of what are the relevant topics for those people out there, and who are the people out there who are interested in what. You will have, I think, a much better sense for what other people are really concerned with. and where you might redirect, if necessary, your own personal vision that you just now formulated, where it can take a bit more into account of that which surrounds you, of the perspectives that are around you. So I would ask ourselves to revisit our visions in a few months, and then also be very much more specific. So don't just give a 10,000 feet description of them, but then really try to make some kind of systematic approach that you believe might look like a workable solution, might look like something that could be built in reality, or that could be tested step by step, something that could be scaled in the sense that you can start with one step and add a second step and a third step to it, without with each step breaking the system anew. So something that is open to development, in other words. That's a level of resolution that I hope we will come up with in a few months, which will be between this very low resolution level, which is from very, very far in the sky, and this very, very high resolution perspective, which is, on the other hand, very fragmented and just doesn't see the bigger picture. It will be something in between, and it will be still an attempt to create something coherent that on both hands and is something that is a whole, and yet in the same time can also deal with the different individual problems that appear and manage them in a way that comes up to the level of sophistication that the individual problems simply require from them. So that's my suggestion for the few months to come. So what I'll be doing in the few months to come, I'll be posting regularly small fragments, very short ideas like this one. This was just a suggestion for how to proceed in the next few months to come, and to explain what I'm doing when I'm contributing to this channel, so that you're not confused. I'll be largely contributing these micro fragments, and I will come up with the bigger picture after these few months, and hope you will join us in this very, very interesting experiment. And I hope we'll meet each other in person one day as well. In the next few weeks, I'll also make a few suggestions about doing group discussions again. I found those to be, at least for me, very rewarding, and I hope other people might join as well. I'll publish what we have already recorded on a channel as well, which will be a different channel from the Fragments channel. The Fragments channel will be on YouTube, and you can browse through the different fragments. And I welcome you to contribute your own fragments that you feel in some way are relevant to what we're thinking about here, and it might pay off to actually pay attention to them.